just want to beat your friend's butt, literally? Well, now you can. This quirky butt-jiggling game allows you and your friends to play numerous spank-fueled party games that will deliver plenty of chaotic moments. But is this silly gimmick enough to make a lasting impact? Well, let's find out right here on the First 30 Podcast. Thank you for listening to the First 30 Podcast. I'm your host, Chad Callahan, and alongside me are the ass lovers that make me clench when they pull out the beads. Tim Harris.
Hello.
David Marino.
You gotta relax.
And Rick Weird Beard Hogerhide.
I am the gluteus maximus.
The gluteus of Maximuses. I am so excited to talk about this game because there's so much ass in this. And you know what the weird thing is I'm not an ass man necessarily. I'm like a little bit of one, but like...
Wait, a little ass man or a little ass man?
The second one, the latter half of that statement. So I don't know. I'm just super excited about it. I do like the spanking aspect of it. So I think that's the part that gets me excited.
We're off to a good start. We're off to a great start.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the reason why I'm excited about it. But other than that, plus, you know what? I've been working on my own ass. All right. I've been squatting a lot. So I think this game is right up my alley right now. I'm feeling fit. I'm feeling excited about my life. I don't know. How are you guys? We haven't done a catch up in a second, and I feel like we should because there's so much happening in the world, and we don't need to talk about it, but we need to talk about how our ass feels. So, David, I need to know, how's your ass feel currently?
It's fine. Yeah, I mean, we've been sitting here playing for almost 2 hours now, and it's a little sore. I could go for a stand up, but mostly
good. Do you have a stand up desk or no?
No.
Oh, see, you gotta get yourself a stand up. I do too. I could make it go up right now, but I don't feel like doing it.
That's
but
right.
I could. Tim and Rick, how are your guys' asses?
Well, I have a coccyx cushion that I need.
Hold up.
for long periods of sitting, so my ass feels great right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's from being old. So
like you're that old, but I guess.
I have a purple cushion, the people that make the mattresses and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have a purple butt cushion for my seat when I sit in here. So
Is it the ones with like the grid? Does it have a grid?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Is it comfy?
Yeah, but listen, after I've been using it long enough that I don't know at this point whether or not my ass is just, this is how my ass feels when I sit or not until I go and sit in other chairs. And then
you're like, damn, I missed my purple ass chair.
But it's thing. It's like how a toilet can feel different when it's not at your home, even if it's a comfortable toilet. I don't know if I can't tell if it's like, am I a home game pooper or am I like just upset that I have to go other places?
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you know, we don't need to talk about asses anymore, but what we do want to talk about is controversy. All right. And Rick, you have plenty of controversies to share with the class.
Yeah. I mean, this is an ass controversy. So, you know, like after
asinine is what it is.
After all of the kind of drama and issues that has been surrounding the release of Stellar Blade over the past few weeks, namely people are mad that they are covering up the main character's butt. I thought that we could talk about some video game controversies. So I am going to give you a game, and you're supposed to tell me what the game was controversial for, what the stupid controversy surrounding it was. I will say they are stupid video game controversies.
Okay.
All right. I'm in.
All right. Our very first one is Battlefield 3. Issued in a press release, was released in November 2011 by PETA. What do you think PETA was upset with Battlefield 3 for?
The shooting the dogs.
No.
The soldiers had leather boots.
No.
Damn,
wasn't one of the, I don't know what they're calling Call of Duty, the like kill streak? Wasn't the kill streak like a dog that you had to force to kill people?
No. So this one, even though this is a game where you can murder thousands of humans, PETA declared that because you are allowed to stab a rat and pick it up by the tail at one point in the game, it would have a brutalizing effect on the young male target audience because video games cause real life violence.
Fair. I mean, I do find myself being upset
at the very beginning
rat.
of the fight, you fight a single rat.
Oh, I never played Battlefield 3. I had no idea. Well, the more you know.
All right. This one is just for Chad.
Oh,
Devil
geez.
May Cry 5.
I haven't played that one. Okay.
Why was this one immediately after launch embroiled in controversy?
Because Dante looked like a simp. I'm trying to think of words they would use.
Is that
it had something to do with his prop master, the girl that makes no.
Oh,
wasn't her?
yes. Yes, it was. It was revolving around a girl named Trish.
What the fuck?
And Dante.
Oh, did they cover her up? Did they cover
did.
her up?
They put a giant, enormous purple lens flare over her butt when he catches her in a cutscene where she is naked. And
I do remember this.
The Western version is the only version with this massive shit, like Spielbergian fucking lens flare right over her butt.
You're like, oh, what is this? Transformers? Oh my god! Ugh.
Yeah, and I just I thought that one would have been just for Chad. Next. This game was embroiled in controversy. Why? So the game is Hatred, released by Epic Games, developer Destructive Creations.
I don't know this one.
I have this game.
Why was this involved with tons of controversy?
David.
Because you shoot up with the police?
Not just like the aim of the game is just to kill as many innocent people as possible. And you gain health from executing bystanders.
Yes, but that is not the controversy around this game.
Oh.
Uh-oh. There's another one.
Okay,
there was something else?
I know there was like a school shooting or something around the time, but I'm assuming that that's not dumb enough of a controversy for this to be the one.
Wasn't there a controversy around it being in an airport or something in a game? But that wasn't this game. Okay,
Modern
that was
Warfare.
Call of Duty. That was Call of Duty.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
right. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
The controversy around this game is that Epic asked the creative or the devs, Destructive Creations, to remove the Unreal logo from the trailer. And when they refused, Valve pulled the game from Steam Greenlight and GOG flat out refused to sell it afterwards.
I remember that. Okay, yeah.
And this was all around the inclusion of the Unreal Engine. They didn't want to be associated because they said no, we did make it on that yeah, it was not good.
Interesting. What an inside baseball reasoning. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, essentially. The next game, Abandoned, a PS5 exclusive. Why was this game full of controversy?
I've heard of this game.
I'm going to assume because the project was abandoned.
Was that it? I don't know. I don't even know if I've heard of this game either. My guess is that the controversy was it was a PS5 exclusive.
That would be the most ridiculous.
So it is tied. The entire controversy is because the developers leaned into a fan theory that this game was actually connected with a video game visionary.
Oh. So they played up the fact that somebody else was involved.
Peter Molyneux was not involved.
So here it is. So developers Blue Box leaned into too much of the fact that people online thought that Hideo Kojima was actually tied to this game. So
I was trying to look it up. Yeah, it looks a little Hideo Kojima-y.
When they unveiled it, it was touted as a new IP from an unknown studio. But then all of a sudden, fans began to suspect that it was more than it meets the eye. Specifically because the true name, the real title of the game, started with an S and ended with an L. And because they thought that it was Silent Hill and an entire timeline of people like connecting crazy dots going through, including Blue Box Game Studios themselves tweeting out things to lead people on and make them think that Kojima was involved. And then it came out, Kojima was like, I have no fucking idea what's going on here. And people started sending death threats to the studio afterwards because they were so mad.
I like how you are the ones who came up with all this crazy bullshit and then I'm wrong, so you should die.
Well, those are some good controversies, but you missed one crucial controversy, Rick. That is the most egregious of all. And that was when Dead by Daylight nerfed Pyramid Head's ass.
I did not even know that happened.
They did. You should. I'm sure there's an image somewhere online of before and after, but they completely nerfed it. And when I had the game director live, I asked him about it. He denied it happened.
Oh,
he denied it.
Okay.
He denied it. But I know it's true. I know. I remember
when they released Pyramid Head, there was all kinds of weird porn popping up on my Google.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right. My last gaming controversy surrounds Portal 2 and Australia. Do you know what this controversy was?
Portal 2 in Australia. Hold on. Okay.
I think I do, actually.
I bet it's GLaDOS related.
It is not.
Oh, fuck. I'm out. David?
Because I remember there was like a really stupid controversy, but now I don't remember if it was Australia or not. Because the thing I'm remembering is these parents got like really upset because Wheatley makes fun of the fact that Chell is an orphan.
Oh,
ding,
God.
ding, 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 ding. The man was so annoyed at having this line from Wheatley spoken about the protagonist for having no parents that he called a local news station who subsequently ran a story on the matter. And they titled it as Adoption Controversy, running a whole story about whether or not it's okay to make jokes about orphans or not.
I remembered that.
The whole thing in the game is he's trying to be like GLaDOS, so he's trying to like insult you as you play the puzzle, and he ends up calling you fatty no parents, and like I guess that was offensive.
That's it. Literally, calling you fatty no parents was enough to like call the news and be like, "Hey, I got a story for you right now."
I get. All right.
He didn't want his adopted child hearing such potty language about not having parents again. Oh my God.
Oh, well, all right. Well, let's just go on with this assful episode today, because today we're playing a fantastic party game whose milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. This is Spanky.
Ooh.
Also, a quick reminder, if you want to watch this podcast, it is also on YouTube at youtube.com/@first30podcast. So you can go over there and see our beautiful faces. Yay! Or be terrified. But you know what the nice thing about YouTube is? You can go into the comments section and yell at us, because I don't think that happens enough. I feel like people need to yell at us and tell us how terrible our opinions are. So go down and watch that and do that, I guess, because
if you don't, we're just going to assume you agree with us.
Oh,
that's true.
That's almost even worse, to be honest.
That's true. You're part of the problem, is what it is.
I mean, we could play on that. You know, you could do the thing that they do. You could make shorts out of just being wrong, because 1,000 people are going to jump in those comment sections and correct us. You know
what? We should just do a whole episode of bad game opinions. And then the whole joke is basically, if no one tells us that we're wrong, we're right. You know what I mean?
This is dangerous. I don't know if we should be allowed to have power
dangerous territory.
Oh, okay, fine. We can make a game of it. How about an intro game of it? We'll do that next time.
Closer.
All right. Anyways, we're talking about the game Spanky, and it is, like I said before, it is a party game. A very interesting party game. Rick, do you want to take us through like what Spanky is overall.
Yeah, so let me set the stage of how we came about this. Is that I put it in our group chat, just being like, I found the game that we're doing. And all that happened is I was scrolling Twitter, and my Twitter is interesting because I have it curated, so it's a lot of like video game news and indie game dev. Like I get the games as they come out, get served to me. I am Johnny on the spot, and I get served this video, and it's just like, have you ever wanted to play a booty physics party game? And I was like, oh fuck, I'm sold. Like I don't even know. I know nothing about what's going on here. And then it said twerk online with up to 7 friends and slap some jiggly tush. And I was like, oh yes, we're absolutely playing this. Quickly, Spanky is like it's not quite Mario Party. It's closer to the game Party Animals that we played before.
Yeah.
Groups of online friends, co-op, and like, so there's some that you play on teams and some games that are like, you know, just individuals. And essentially it's all butt jokes and
which is great.
Yeah, and like it's definitely not a AAA title, but I think that's the charm of games like these when they're janky and kind of funny, and it's just about playing with your friends.
Yeah.
We played. I think there was 6 different game modes.
I think there was 10. I think it was 10 game modes total.
Something, but essentially,
so we got the achievement for it.
Yeah, it ranges everywhere from like cops and robbers to freeze tag to like keep away, hot potato. Racing, all kinds of different things where it's all just you and your friends playing in a lobby with a giant ass, I think is the best way I can sell it.
And your ass, they say jiggle physics. There's jiggle physics in this game. The best part is like you could just sit there and twerk the whole time. Which
if
is
you
just
wanted
like,
to.
If you wanted to, you
dedicated
probably win. Yeah, a dedicated button just to twerk. Fantastic. Great. Love it. I'm going to do that the entire show. I'm sorry. But Tim, you were the one that wanted us to play all the games. I'm glad you did because there's like so many different modes on there, especially because it did seem to kind of favor a couple more over the others.
Yeah,
like I think
we
played, one was called Infection, and the whole idea of it was like one of us is like quote unquote a zombie and you had to go and infect everybody else. But also I liked this game mode in particular, even though it was very frustrating, because not only did you get infected if you got spanked, right? You also got infected if you lost your syringe that is sticking out of your butt. Yeah. You had to collect more juice to get through it. So there's like 2 elements that you have to worry about. It's like I have to get more juice and I have to stay away from the zombies. And the more that other people get captured, the more likely you're going to get captured as well. So I like that game mode the most. I think I want to go around the room and just like talk like which is the ones that are most memorable moments for you in this game, because we could talk about how the game works, but like each one's so different. It doesn't even make sense to talk about it that way. But David, do you have a favorite one that you played throughout?
I probably the most fun I had during the rounds was that one where you have to collect the fruit and drop it off at the tube.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So like
I forget the name of that one.
You get a bunch of fruit, and the more fruit you get, the larger your ass becomes. And then you have to run over to your colored tube to deposit it, and it fills up with juice as you put more fruit in. But you can run around, you can slap the other players to like slow them down or hinder them, and you can also slap open their fruit tube so that it leaks juice out so that they lose progress. So that was a lot of fun. I liked that one.
Yeah.
I think the best part about that was the entirety of that game. I was just griefing you guys the entire time. Where I just at least the second time around.
It's great. It's perfect for it because it's not like the other ones where when you get slapped, you just like, oh, ow. And like, then you keep going. Like you get eliminated for like a 3 second respawn time. So we found out the meta was you take out the person and then you go slap their tube. So there's nothing they can do about it leaking juice.
You wait for them to get to the tube, right? And then you slap them and their tube. Yeah.
And you take out their tube. So they're losing a bunch of juice progress.
Now let me make a note. This game is like, there's a ton of platforming in this game.
Yes.
I would say that it's primarily a multiplayer platformer, maybe.
It's got, I would say it's very platform heavy. They really want you. I think there's only 10 games right now. It's early access, so keep that in mind. So hopefully moving forward, they'll add more games that aren't that platformy. Like, I hope that they take some inspiration from Fall Guys, which also heavily platforming kind of game, if you really think about it. But they also integrated other things that, just require you to jump or have memory or like whatever. They have different type of game modes and they constantly are updating it. So I could only hope that they do those kind of inspirational things in there. But
it's probably a little bit harder to pull that off with the main mechanic being smacking asses.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, you could does every game have to involve a smacking ass? Could it be like booty bouncing? Could it be like the best twerk? There's other things that the ass can do.
Best twerk.
I mean, maybe it's
the game is called Spanky though.
You know what?
That's
Actually,
fair.
like twerking's funny, right? Like, but there's no point in the game to do it other than just to like dog on your friends and or gloat when you get a good kill or something. But what about imagine like remember Tony Hawk Graffiti where you trick off the objects and color the level? Imagine a twerking game mode where the longer you twerk on an object, you like claim it, color it your color.
Like King of the Hill kind of thing?
Yeah, like King of the Hill. So like the longer you're twerking on a platform, you could make it your color and then someone would have to twerk that long in order to reclaim it.
Reclaim it. I like that.
So just keep going back and forth.
So I would like to see that because I agree. I think that there needs to be something with that. But Tim, what was your favorite game out of the bunch?
So probably those two, but I will throw it over to what is most likely my third favorite, which was just the straight up race. Nothing fancy. There's a bunch of circles that spawn in and you run through the circles and it tests your ability to do the platforming we were just talking about. The game's a little bit janky, but like it's got all kinds of little environmental things you can interact with that help you bounce around the map and get you moving faster. The crouch jump actually speeds you up if you use it, which is nice. I had noticed that in the final race that we did. So like it teaches you a lot of the mechanics of the game. So it's a good game mode. And then you just run around trying to slap your friends to death and go through hoops. And the faster you get through the hoops, the closer you get to winning. And it's just a good time.
Can I read you
the best part?
Oh, go ahead.
I'll say the best part, when you finish the race, you get to go around and grief your friends as a ghost.
Yeah.
And haunt their ass.
I'm going to read you what I found as just the biggest loser on the reviews of this game.
Okay.
Oh God, I already hate it.
For being a primarily platformer-based game, the movement is extremely undercooked with no real skill expression. There seems to be some small b-hop technique, which the less time spent on the ground, the better, but not a ton. I just really want to be able to fully express my full range of motion by not just tagging people, but being able to show that I am better at overall movement. This game is fucking not for you. This game is for idiots like the four of us who are, hey, we're gonna play a goofy game. Let's do that. The moment that you try to fun max a game like this, I think you're out because you're, as you've heard, all of the games that we like are the ones that are silly, I think.
Yeah.
Even on top of that, they're wrong. They're wrong about there not being movement tech because there's crouch jumping, bunny hopping. You can do dive slides to pick up momentum. If you look in the like how to play section, there's a couple of wall jump techniques that you can do when you're climbing up like those vine walls. You can hop between them and like bounce off of one, do like a wall jump off of one to get slightly higher and like a crouch jump off onto that. So there's a ton of things that you can do that would help you like evade and get away from people trying to slap your ass. So that person's just wrong. Like they probably played one match and they're like, oh, I can sometimes go a little bit faster when I bunny hop, and they didn't like look at the instructions.
And honestly, I think one thing about this game that's very interesting is, and it's much like Mario Kart, specifically, is the power-ups. Like the power-ups make the game more interesting. I mean, yeah, you have to remember to use them, like, because I kept forgetting. But like having those power-ups definitely change the entirety of play that you're having. And you have to really pay attention to what power-ups you have on hand and like because you can only carry one. It's not like you could stack a bunch of power-ups. Like if you run back into a power-up, reconfigures and gives you a new one. So sometimes you have to strategically think, oh, I don't like this power up. Maybe I'll test my luck with a new one. Or I want to keep this power up and have my iron, butt guard on just in case someone comes to try to slap my ass, So I think you're right. They're wrong entirely. There's a lot of mechanics here that they can do. It just feels like that they were just bored and they just wanted to write a little dissertation about how much they were butthurt about a game called Spanky. But anyways, Rick, did you the ones left? Did you have a game that was your personal fave?
I feel like there was This feels bad to say because we were still a group of 4. That's not a small, tiny group, but some of these game modes I think I could really like. If there's just more people, the cops and robbers or the freeze tag, you give me a lobby of 10 people doing that. Awesome. Great. Perfect. Let's do it.
I think it's max 8 too, though.
Yeah, but it's still even 4v4 probably would have improved it quite a bit. Playing some of these 2v2, you could get the little taste, the little
you can understand what they were going for. Because the cops and robbers especially was difficult because if one person's captured, you're pretty much just you have to free them, quote unquote, by going to their little cell. But you two could just sit there and wait for me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just wait for me to try to grab them. Yeah, sure. I could go around and grab the fruit so I could put it back into whatever that I'm trying to steal. But honestly, it didn't really, it was more difficult than anything to be, especially the robbers in that game. So yeah, I think you're right. There's a couple games that really require you to have a full
I wanted to like them. I liked them. They just weren't, you know what I mean?
The concept,
exactly. I think that's where I'm at.
You know what this game needs then? And I think that's a good point. You know how, and I think Fall Guys does it, where it's if you have a smaller group, they don't do certain levels or whatever, because it's okay, this isn't really made for a small group of people. When it gets to those 12 finalists or whatever. So that's what they should probably do. They should kind of bucket these in okay, this is 4v4. This is more of the 2v2 kind of thing. So that way you don't run into those problems all the time.
Even do that and then going forward kind of make some game types that are catered to smaller parties so that you could have both sides are going to have a more variety of things to do instead of then just locking stuff off to larger groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly, but I don't know. It was just a very interesting overall game. I
think a lot of the games, specifically the tag-oriented ones, they're real fun with just 4 people. They are. I'm not even talking about the ones that don't really work with 4 people. They're real fun with 4 people, but I do think that just adding the extra chaos, especially with the tag games, would bring a little more to the table. Because I actually like the tag games, even with just 4 of us. But if there was a 4v4 mode going on with the tag thing, that would be so chaotic. I think that would just bring more to the table for the tag games as well. So I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like more people would help in that as well, not just those couple game modes. But it was still fun.
I think it might even
ask. Oh.
I was saying it might even up the stakes a little bit more because when we played those, it was almost always split. It were 2 taggers and 2 tagged. Mm-hmm. But I can see if you have a full lobby, maybe you still only have 2 tagged so that you're running around and there's more chances to get away and kind of play off of
help people.
The different, not your teams, but the hunted and the prey.
What if they do a prop hunt kind of game in this game, but your ass always kind of sticks out slightly? Like you turn into a plant or something, but you have an ass that's out? So you have to kind of be strategic with it?
If they're going to do that, they need to make a bunch of props that have an ass so that you blend in.
Already.
And they just go around slapping the prop's ass. Although, too, because they have a little bit of it with that death tag where it's basically just free-for-all deathmatch, but you only get 1 life. I would like team deathmatch and regular deathmatch where you just keep going, just keep racking until you hit a score goal. That would be perfect.
You know what I will complain about, and this is my only complaint about, this isn't necessarily a grievance, but it's more of an aesthetic, an ass aesthetic grievance. Basically, my biggest issue is you're not really slapping their ass a lot of times. You're just kind of hitting the other person. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I wish that there was more like maybe like when you die, you'd go ass up or something like that. I don't know. There needs to be something more with the ass when you're actually doing that. That's my only complaint about like the idea of the spanky. Cause like if you're trying to spank their ass, it just feels kind of weird that you could just hit them upside the head.
There definitely needs to be more games where it plays with the size. Like there was that fruit collecting one where the more fruit you have, the larger your ass becomes. But a lot of the other games are just like, it's just there. It doesn't do anything. Like you have to slap it, but it's not like prominent. I
mean, it seems like fruit's kind of like the main food in this, so maybe it's like a fruit eating contest, you know? And the first person who can fit it, and then like your ass explodes, you win.
Or the instead of that bomb hand buzzer we had for the death tag, like you just accumulate slaps, and like every time you get slapped, your ass gets a little bit bigger, and like eventually it pops.
I like that. That's it. That's new game mode right there. Put it down. I don't know who the dev is in this one, but Spanky devs,
do it.
Put that in there.
Do it.
And if there are any games out there that you think we have missed, we want to know from you. That's right. Go to our YouTube channel because that's the easiest way for us to see all the comments below. And then it's at youtube.com/@firstrated podcast, mind you. And go down there, tell us what all the games that we missed, because honestly, we can only play so many. You know, we do this once a week, and sometimes we're not the best at it. I'm not gonna lie, but we try. And so if you want to wish list any game for us to try, maybe we'll do an episode on it, or we'll do like a roundup wish list, so that way you can see all those different types of games, and maybe we'll either all of us will play, some of us will play, we'll figure it out from there. But just let us know in the comments below on YouTube if there are any games you want us to try out that we have missed in the past couple of months, because there are a lot. There's just it's sickening in many ways. It's sickeningly good, but also sickening. But you know what else is sickening? Dead ass. All right, so let's get back to Spanky here, because I want to put this on the list of where does this fall. I want to put the preface down. We have to judge this as is. This is early access, and we have to, we're all hopeful for better things. But where do you put this as an idea on the party games list? So, like, even if it wasn't in early access and there was like, say, there was like 10 more games or whatever, where do you find this? David, you look like you want to say.
Good. Yes.
Okay,
You're correct.
okay.
Correct. Okay.
Ooh, that's tough. Well, here's the thing. I know Ultimate Chicken Horse is our baseline top, but I'm also gonna put Mario Party in general as a baseline top for the general audience that might not know what Ultimate Chicken Horse is. You should also play though.
Of party games I don't like. Oh, there you go.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the bottom. Yeah. Okay. That's the bottom. Okay.
There's just so many. There's literally so many that have come out in 2024.
Yeah.
Right.
We all love butt play here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I want to establish a baseline. So obviously the top, if we have a scale, the top of the party game scale is going to be Ultimate Chicken Horse. That is the top of the scale.
Still healthy.
What would we put at the bottom? What party game belongs?
I think you're giving it a lot of leeway on the early access, though. I thought so.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly where I was, though. Like, somewhere between, like, a 5 and a 6 currently, I would say. Because, like, it's definitely middle of the road. But things that can fix this. More game modes, just more going on in general.
I've got the worst one.
A larger
Shrek
community.
Super Party.
If it picks up a larger community, I could see it doing well. I really can.
You can
it's
pick
fun.
one of the different characters, Shrek characters.
That's a game.
It's like it's atrocious. So that's it.
So on a scale of chicken horse to Shrek, where are we putting Spanky?
I think you do have to take into account that this game is still early access. This is tough because I really like the butt play. I think it's like creative and unique enough. And it's even, I mentioned this while we were playing,
Crash
like
Bash.
it could have easily gone into the territory of like farts and poops and butts and buttholes and like, just gross.
Yep.
But this was fun and I think it was executed well. I think that this feels like worse Mario Party games currently. So it's not like if we're going
on to the side of the
Shrek
bridge
is
and don't
1
fall off.
and Mario Chicken Horse is 10. I'm sitting at like a 6. Oh yes. Yes. I am.
Yeah, that's fair. I think you're right. It put it in the middle of the pack there. I think the one thing that maybe its downfall, and I don't know if, Tim kind of mentioned it earlier, where it seems to be have to really rely on the fact that it's called Spanky
when
and
we
that we have to
play
use our
party
hands.
animals,
It's like,
right?
I don't think
party
if you do
animals,
that, I think you're limiting yourself
would put above
horribly
this.
in this
and
game.
And the reason why, it's obviously like
there's
a
so
larger
many other
dev
avenues you
studio,
could do.
right? They
like, I don't
definitely
necessarily
had
need to run around a map.
The
maybe
animals
we could drive
were
carts.
super cute.
There's could be so many things that we could do
weird
where it could still be
enough,
as plastic.
Everything that was in this game, I have played as a different mode of
we're
like
solving everyone's
Crash
problem. See, this is why devs need to listen to the
Crash
show.
Party game,
if anything,
right?
just to like
Crash
listen
Bash.
to what
Crash
we're saying.
Bash, that's what it is.
But yeah. Because I think
played
all these games that we played,
before.
all 10 of them really relied heavily on you
filter on
slapping
it.
each other.
Fun, I like it. It's
and it's funny and it's fun.
A game
but
like
I can
Party
tell you
Animals,
right
where
now,
it was,
I'm not going to
stay
play this
close
for,
to the fire,
8
otherwise
hours on stream if I'm a streamer.
Turn into ice.
I think I might.
or
once I get
the
past those 10
submarine
games,
is going down. Make sure you like
and I'm
that kind of
move
shit.
on to I don't know, like Lethal Company or something.
That kind of shit elevates it. This is
kind of going to be my grievance, honestly. On this,
run of the mill.
like I feel like
it's
they're
funny.
really
It's cute.
too
I like
heavily in
it
the
more than
Spanky.
probably other.
It's funny. It's cute.
Like shitty
whatever,
indie
but
games.
I don't know.
Because
I
there are
think
shitty indie
the only
games,
saving
that's okay
grace
to
in this
say.
game is honestly the power-ups.
But this one doesn't.
It kind of does
this
change
one
the
isn't
pace a little bit.
currently
But
capturing the magic for me.
I don't know. But does anyone else have a grievance they'd like to share on? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bumper ass.
And they made it hard to
Bumper
play.
ass.
Dude, because like one was so
Bumper
yellow,
ass.
it was almost blinding. I don't know. But Tim, did you have any grievances you'd like to share?
I can't consider mine a grievance because like this game is not going to be at the level of these other games. And like the only grievance I have is just that everything is kind of sort of, or I shouldn't say everything, most of the game modes are catered towards having a community. So a larger, amount of players playing it at any one given time. And the game just does not have that. If you have a group of 8 people, unlikely that you constantly play
Do you
with.
have 7 friends?
Like, it's all fine and dandy, but like, without having that group of people, a lot of the game falls flat, unfortunately. And since the community is not there, it's an issue. So it's not going to hold up to something like a Fall Guys. It probably wouldn't, even if it did have a community, because Fall Guys is great. But
I will. I'm
without that community or your 7 friends, a
For
lot
me,
of the games will
personally,
fall flat. So
I'm
that's-
okay with early
I don't know if I
access.
consider that
I'm okay with kinda
grievance so much
shitty.
as
I'm
you
okay
know,
with
just
rough around the
something
edges.
that
We
happens.
played 2
Unfortunately,
different
but like
levels that had
that's
dev
what I would
textures
say.
on them.
Okay.
Just
David, do you have anything?
Release them later. You know what I mean? Like make it an update and be like, look, new game, new maps, new whatever. Awesome marketing. Dev texture, instant,
Agreed.
just like, ugh. Yes.
Yeah. You know what would be better? Instead of it being like a use and then it's done, I think it'd be nice if you just held down Q or something and you use it only for the duration that you're holding it down. So that way, because I felt like I just panicked and I'd just press it and I'd waste it. And I'd be like, oh no, Tim's there. And I thought it was David or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that would solve and yeah, maybe doing it 3 seconds instead of 2 seconds. Because I agree. That is very short. Oh, it runs out mid-launch? I'd rather have it an amount of...
Mine are mostly just like small balance things that I'm hoping are fixed.
I think you're right. It should be like 2 grapples.
I think a lot of the power-ups don't last
if you
long
fuck
enough.
it up, you're done or whatever.
Well, like, some of them, like the one-time use ones I get,
one
like,
good one,
that's
whatever,
just a get-out-of-jail-free card.
But
things
grapple.
like the steel underpants and the cloak, they're like 2-second items. Like it barely feels like you get to really take advantage of them before they go away.
Yeah. I agree. I didn't realize there was a timer on that one, so that's kind of upsetting. But all right, well, we have our grievances, but now it's time for the final say. Will we continue this game? We all played this, so there's no who's going last. So I'm just going to pick at random. Rick.
Yeah.
What's your final say?
Yeah, just add some extra time, or maybe give it another use instead of just like a one and done. Especially for like the grappling hook, because I feel like it starts counting down as it's like going towards the target. So by the time you hit your target and you start reeling in, like you don't even have time to make it. You just kind of get launched in that direction as it runs out. Yeah, so as soon as you press Q, it travels to where you're aiming at, and it's using its meter. And then it hooks on and it starts pulling you towards the target, and it's still using its meter. It's not like, you get 1 or 2 grapples and then like that's it. It's like a continuous usage that like as soon as it's being
Let's fucking spank.
Activated. Yeah, one good grapple, or maybe you can split it. Like if you're just zooming around the environment, you get a little extra time. But if you tag somebody to go to
I'm basically
that person,
in the same boat
or
as
like
Rick.
even go for like
as
an instant
with
slap,
most
like,
party games, I would absolutely, if someone was like, "Hey, let's sit down and just play a random party game," and this was it, I'd be down and I would have a good time. I would never in a million years play this one by myself.
I don't think you could.
I don't think you can if the community's there. Like I could get in a room with randoms, but like this is a game I don't see me having a good time playing with random people. This is not
Chicken Horse.
Like Fall Guys, I absolutely played by myself multiple times. Same thing with Chicken Horse.
This goes into the same bin.
I'm good with both of those.
I would treat almost all
probably
board
Party Animals too. I'd probably be all right with this game. Seems like I need to be laughing and talking to people while I'm playing it in order to have a good time. And like it might have that,
and then you won't play it again for a couple of months. There's other ones that are like old standbys.
Random people, I don't think I would have
every
as
fucking
good of a
time. We're
time
gonna
as I
play the
would
shit out of
with
this.
like my friends.
I think that this is a decent
It is
game
a continue,
for $8,
but only with
however,
people that I know,
going to be
and I would
Jonesy to
definitely
play it.
not
But
play
if Chad
by
was like,
myself.
"Hey, I miss
Fair
you
enough.
guys. Let's
All right,
play
David,
some fucking
would you
Spanky,"
continue?
I'd be like, down. Let's do it. So yeah, let's spank together, man. Like, I think that yes, I would encourage people to pick it up. However, do not think that this is going to become Helldivers 2 and it's not going to occupy every waking hour of your life.
You can do quick matches.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Well, it's my turn. Will I continue? Absolutely. I think there's some charm to this game. And I think the one thing that kind of, I actually didn't mention it, but the one thing that really made me kind of like this game, even though I agree with Tim, I would never play this with randos. I would only play it with friends. I love the griefing. I think the griefing's my favorite part. There's so many opportunities for griefing in this game.
I would absolutely continue.
That's why you need to play with your friends.
I had a ton of fun
the
with
whole
it,
idea is just like to slap them on the ass and call them names.
Just to shit on that one review again, I think it plays like the actual like physical control and gameplay of it just feels really good. There's a lot of different kind of
I know that there's
techniques you can apply.
Talk features in this game.
I think it was Infection, or it might have been the
but I don't want to sit there and like
where Rick and I were just looping.
5-year-old and then
off of the edge and climbing the vines.
It's not like such a big thing. Like, I got my little thick ghost and I'm coming and slapping your ass. Like, it's going to be a lot funnier with friends than it is some 5-year-old who's going to take it too seriously.
I've seen other party games have this feature, and I think is quickly, or if the devs can get it in quickly, it might pump up the game's longevity a little bit, but add bots.
A healthy shot because we did have fun with the game, but we'll see.
If there was only the 4 of us, let me put in 4 bots, and then we can just run around and gang up on that one bot,
maybe
or
some streamers pick it up, and maybe it'll
have
like
the piss taken out of us if we get botted and like we suck at the game all of a sudden.
I think it's going to take
be such a good
another run of like games before that happens, to be perfectly honest. But we'll see. I guess time will only tell. So that's it for right now. This game is $9.99 regular, but I think it's like 20% off early, whatever introductory offer. So was it $7.99? So it's only available on Steam since it's early access. So go out and check it out. Spank some friends with each other. Get some ass going right there. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to First 30. And if you want to see more insanity, again, we're on youtube.com/@First30podcast.